Coming up, details on the fire that broke out last night at a senior living apartment in Lansing. And people are still cold this morning at Edgewood Water Apartments. We'll have the details on management responses straight ahead. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Sal.
And I'm Claire Cameron. You're watching News 10 Today.
I'm lucky today because you know what, it's going to be feeling a little bit warmer. And I was surprised yesterday when the sun was out. It actually felt pretty good.
You know, it wasn't too terribly bitter yesterday.
Will be more winnings. The 75th annual Golden Globe Awards are tonight here on NBC, honoring the year's best in TV and film. Celebrities will strut down the red carpet at 7, and the awards will follow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Mark Barger has a preview of the show, which is hosted by a familiar late-night face. Now we will finally be getting a break from all the cold we've been getting, and if that's what you want to call it, a lot of people are saying that, but a slight warm-up is what we're in for, correct?
Yeah, well, I think anything above freezing or above zero is a warm-up, because we've spent the last 2 weeks with temperatures well below zero. Now we're...
Well, welcome back. We have updates for you on the collision that took place at the Toronto airport Friday night. Now, when an empty plane being towed clipped a jet carrying passengers to Canada from Cancun, chaos and confusion followed, causing panic to ensue. Airport officials were able to safely evacuate everyone on the plane using emergency slides, but some passengers delayed the process trying to grab their carry-ons. And the airport chaos continues as things are just starting to get back on track at the New York's JFK International Airport after a massive backlog of canceled flights due to the bomb cyclone that tore up the East Coast. The cancellations threw airport operations into chaos, with some passengers saying they spent hours waiting for their flights. And one passenger says he'll probably not be going anywhere until today. Moving on, 6 medical marijuana dispensaries in San Francisco received temporary licenses to sell recreational pot to anyone who is 21 and over with a valid state ID. Back in 2016, voters in California cast their ballots in favor of passing Proposition 64. Now, this is an ordinance legalizing marijuana in the Golden State, but the city of San Francisco did not approve its regulations to sell marijuana until last month. Now, this comes 5 days after people in other counties in the state were able to purchase cannabis for recreational use. The 6 dispensaries are taking precautions to have extra staff and supplies on hand, as pot sales are expected to increase tremendously for recreational users. And after a week of trading nuclear threats with Kim Jong-un, President Donald Trump now says he's willing to talk with the North Korean leader. The president made the announcement and several others at a retreat for GOP leaders at Camp David this weekend. Sarah Doloff has the story. Welcome back. It's the focus of political promises and slogans. The rent is just too high. Now, according to a new study, millions of Americans can't afford to pay for a place to lay their head. But in today's Consumer Watch, Reed Binion has tips that may help lower your bills. Well, before we head out, we want to get one more final check of the forecast with Claire.
Well, all right, it's warming up.
Now to an update this morning. The Toronto Pearson International Airport is back to normal operations after multiple reports of a collision between 2 planes Friday evening. Take a look at this video you see here on your screen. Moving on, President Trump didn't spend all his time on Twitter as his tweets and followers continue to see growth. The job market also saw growth within his year in office. Kate Rogers tells us which sectors saw the biggest change. Yes, any type of warm-up is what we're looking for.
I mean, the 20s, I'll take it.
Exactly. Well, I want to ask you a question. How much sleep did you get last night?
About 4 hours.
Okay, so we're on the same page right now, and I know a lot of other people are. And if you haven't gotten enough sleep, we've all heard of the reasons why we're not getting enough. Stress hormones, restless leg syndrome, sleep apnea. Hayler Hernandez has suggestions on perking up to survive the day. Feeling the pain right now of being sleep deprived? Well, experts say adults should get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Very active people should get even more. Well, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're heading into a whole lot of action in our morning sports. Stay with us. Frostbite danger. Find out how to keep yourself, your pets, and others protected in these frigid cold temperatures. And more money, no problems. Why one lucky winner is saying that this morning after playing in this year's Mega Millions jackpot. Happy Saturday morning, everyone, and thanks for getting up so early to join us. I'm Joe Sam.
And I'm Claire Cameron. You're watching News 10 today.
Those temperatures out there are scaring a lot of people, including myself, because it is really, really cold.
It is just so cold. The last couple of days we've
All right, thanks, Claire, for that. Well, speaking of the weather, with several days of dangerously cold temperatures, doctors are warning everyone to be careful and be mindful of how long you're spending outside. The first signs of frostbite usually start in the toes and fingers. You'll likely have white, grayish, yellow, or blue and waxy coloring and firm feeling skin with numbness. Doctors say in these frigid temperatures, the warning signs can come on quickly. New information this morning, one winner of the massive Mega Millions drawing from Friday night has emerged. The lucky ticket was brought in Florida, according to the Multi-State Lottery Association. So congratulations to them. Now the winning numbers were 28, 30, 39, 59, 70, with the Mega Powerball at 10.
I'll just feed the animals.
Okay, thank you.
I just go ahead and feed the animals. Well, still to come, Trump has completed a year in office. Find out what job growth he's affected and why it's not all it's cracked up to be. The details next. Stay with us.